Okay, and we're going to start this off, ladies and gentlemen. 6.8 billion lawsuit against the Trump administration. Nearly half the country's states and the District of Columbia sued the Trump administration on Monday for 6.8 billion over education funding being withheld. The coalition of 24 states in D.C. launched the suit against President Donald Trump, Linda McMahon in her capacity as Secretary of Education, the Education Department, Russ Vought as the Director of the Office of Management and Budgets, OMB, and the OMB itself. The suit alleges the administration has unlawfully frozen $6 billion in education funding for K through 12 schools and adult education. The states say the freeze is unlawful because the funds were appropriated by Congress to be given to the states on July 1st and are currently being withheld by the president for a review. An OMB spokesperson told Newsweek, "This is an ongoing problematic review of education funding. Initial funding shows that many of these grant programs have been grossly misused to subsidize a radical left-wing agenda. The Department of Education has been contacted via email for comment." The state suing the Trump administration alleges these funds are vital for several key educational programs and needs, including those for people learning English, technology in the classroom lessons, and extracurricular programs. The plaintiff have said that withholding these funds would irreparably harm the plaintiff states, their schools, and the students and families they serve. This is one of several suits faced by the White House over withholding congressionally approved funds.
Yeah, I mean, what they're saying is a radical left agenda. This is what they mean by that. It means educating your kids. Because let's not forget that 71% of all the economic output that occurs in the United States comes from blue counties. This is which 71% of all the economic output that happens in this country. So that's what they're trying to stop. They don't want you to educate your kids at all. What they're talking about is, hey, teach them how to read and write at a young age. They want to get rid of preschool. They want to get rid of all that stuff. That's a radical left agenda to them. Right? To learn, to understand the world is a radical left agenda. They want the 10 Commandments. We want you to learn about 10 Commandments, read the Bible, and stick to the old. They want you to keep your kids basically in the Stone Age. That's what they really want here.
They say because a lot of people, when they end up going to college, they end up becoming Democrats. And that's because in college, they're learned to fact check things. Look into stuff, ask questions.
Be around other races and ethnicities of people. Of people. You know what I mean? Like you're not just have to be around your own set of people in your country town that you're in. You're able to be around other people. You learn that, hey, you know what? We're not so much different. Yeah, we are in our different nuances, but we're not. We're all people. There's good and bad in everybody. So you learn that. You don't have to sit in a room with your parents telling you, oh, don't like this race or don't like that race, which can happen to any race, but the majority happens to certain races. It just does. And you get a chance opportunity to be, expand your horizons, man. And if we want to be a country that's stuck in the past, we talk about educating our people for the jobs of the future, but you want to stick them in the past during school. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
And the thing is, this is supposed to come out July 1st when they're supposed to get this funding. A lot, it's already allocated. These schools have already based their curricular everything after these fundings. Think about it, they've already taken away free lunches, right? Mm-hmm. Now you're taking away 6.8 billion. And let me tell you, in Washington State, it's 127 million of that is going to Washington State.
There's a lot of money.
Even Oklahoma is he's like, whoa, bro. He's like, I put churches in schools and did everything right. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is going to affect a lot of kids.
They don't care. They don't miss it. This is a mission to destroy America. If you guys have not figured this out by now, you're not trying to figure anything out.
It's not to destroy America. It's to rob it of its money. Think about it. They're cutting all these programs, right? The money's still going there. Did they say, hey, we're doing all these Doge cuts and we're going to put that money back in your pockets?
What does that do, though?
It puts think about it.
But at the end of the day, at the crux of it, it destroys your country. Because right now, our country's has been on a shift where all the money is going to the top half of the people. They're getting everything. And our country's going bankrupt. So they're going to what do you do once you bankrupt the business? You light a match. Burn the business down. They don't care. Oh, after that, who cares? That's what venture capitalists do most times. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against them. What they'll do is they rob all the money out of the business. Then they put it up for sale. They don't care about it anymore. That's what they're doing to the American people.
Well, that's what happened with Toys R Us and Red Lobsters, because those two businesses, they own their land. Mm-hmm. But then what the companies did, I think it's a venture capital. Is that what they call it? Mm-hmm. So what they do is they bought it and then they made the businesses rent the land.
And they separate the business from the property.
From the property.
The property over here, this over here. So if these fail, I can still keep this. Doesn't matter if these fail. I can always take.
And they would charge them rent on their And that's why Toys R Us is gone. And that's why Red Lobster was gone for a minute, but the guy that he brought it back, the CEO.
And I mean, so this is an important thing we need to pay attention to, man. Our education in this country, we don't, everyone thinks it's so horrible. All these kids don't know anything. They just don't know a lot of the stuff that don't matter.
No, education ain't terrible. You just had a bad time in school. That's all it was.
But I think that they look at kids now like, you kids don't know anything. I mean, but we learned a lot of things that kind of didn't matter.
And we went to school with a lot of stupid people. And people like to, ignorance is bliss.
These kids, have a very, they have the capability of seeing so many different things that we had no clue about. We were really trapped inside of a bubble. And that's why most of us act the way that we do at this point in time. That's why most of us think the way that we do at this point in time. Like cavemen. I tell my daughter, I'm like, hey, I honestly like the fact that you're not like me in a number of different ways when it comes to thinking about societal, norms or what's not normal, because I grew up different. We grew up thinking something was bad because we didn't know any better.
We didn't have the knowledge, and now you have all the knowledge at your hand. But to see the whole thing about this administration, it seems the only kids they like is the ones they can tickle their booties.
It's a strange thing. Jesus, the way he puts, you know what the cool part about it is? And I'm not just going to say it's just this administration, because I have to believe that it goes deeper than that. The reason why I got to believe that, even though it's been Republicans that are stopping these bills, these files from coming out, I believe it's deeper than that because nobody else put them out. Nobody else did this. For what?
Yeah.
Even though this guy was the one who made his bed and said he was going to do it, no one else did it either. And so at the end of the day, if you can crush education, you can make anyone believe anything. That's why most MAGAs believe anything, because they don't understand anything else. They don't, this is true because this person said it is. Look what this person said over here. That's how they act, man. But let's hope that these states can get together and this lawsuit actually does something. But we all know if it goes to the Supreme Court, it's a done deal.